Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of World Building. As you can see, we're back at the castle we've been working on for the last couple of episodes. Still without a name at the minute, but I've done a little bit of work here for this episode, and I've also done some work elsewhere within the realm, which is probably indicative of how we'll manage things from now on. I'll have 2, possibly 3 projects on the go at the same time, and I'll chip away a little bit at each of them during the course of each episode, just to keep it interesting. I don't want to be stuck in the castle all the time for multiple episodes. But the first section I've done is actually just off of the spire section with the staircase you see there, and what it is I've built a very modest throne room of sorts. It's a fairly modest castle. It's not a big, massive 40-room castle, so I figured something small, but yeah, architecturally quite nice. I've gone for a glass roof, albeit with wooden structure inside, just to act as a support. Again, I know Minecraft doesn't need it to have a support, but I wanted it for various reasons. And I've actually used standardized torches in here just to give it a kind of more medieval feel rather than this sort of all glass lighting culture that we've got here. I wanted this to feel very down to earth in here. So obviously the king would sit at the far end, subjects would come in, discuss their problems with him, that kind of thing. So moving on, we have some more underfloor lighting, and this is actually the castle kitchen. So we have sinks and ovens, storage facilities for food, wash basin in the far corner, a lovely view, and other than that, really not that much. It's here because I feel it's needed. It doesn't need to be super pretty. So let's have a look at something else I've done. And up in the guard area above the courtyard, you can now see I've cut through the mountain so that the guards can view over the main entrance into the castle. And obviously we have some dispensers there which theoretically could get loaded up with arrows and that kind of thing. It's just really aesthetic, really. Let's take to the sky and have a bit of a look at how our 2 new additions have featured on the exterior of the castle. So we have our wooden roof, or almost like a pyramid rather than a dome, I suppose, of glass. And yeah, obviously some of you may be thinking, well, that looks a bit tagged on, which it does, I won't lie. As it stands at the minute, this looks very kind of thrown on the end of the castle, but there is a method to my madness and a plan in action here. And what that plan involves is these supports that you see coming down, I've fashioned into a wall of sorts. And that's because what I plan to do is chop away some of this earth here, and actually take away some of the glass from this area here and build a staircase that will curve down to this area down here, and that will form the king's own private dock. Now obviously by having a dock there for a boat, we're going to need some more fortification in the water and around the edge, and obviously underneath the castle you'll see some extra fortification, some walling and stuff like this, and it should help tie everything in and expand the castle out over the edge of the sea. But that's that area, and if we move on, we'll just quickly scoot down across, and you can see that on the opposing bank now I've started to make some progress in what will be our village area. So we have a little walkway down here which curves out, and that's going to obviously extend along the bank there, and it extends around the corner here where I've placed some additional lighting. And on top of this hill, where these stairs are leading up, I plan to build the first of our structures, our village structures, which will be a library. But the library will actually have a towered section mimicking this tower here, although slightly shorter, because what I want is for the two top lines of each tower to be completely parallel to each other. So the library's tower will be slightly a condensed version. Here we are in the underground section, which I started work on in the last episode, if you remember. I just built the staircase down and started working on some pathways. And really all I've done is extend and expand upon that. We built some more pathways, obviously added a lot of additional pillars and lighting. Otherwise you wouldn't see bugger all down here. So if we have a quick look, now this is all very raw. It's all done in just dark oak wood at the minute, just purely to map everything out. I want an idea of how big this place is, the scope of it all, and to sort of put in place some possible ideas of where I'm going to place things in the future. And one of these is right here now, which is obviously, this is going to be like a moon pool area, because the moon passes over this section here. We have an area down below there with a ladder down here. But if we take to the sky again and have a look, I'll raise this up just to show you where we are geographically. But all this section here in my crosshairs I plan to turn into like a wheat garden. And to get up there, I plan for them to have like a carved section of this that will form a staircase. So a staircase will spiral around the edge of this hole, embedded within the wall. So if we head back down, so we have some more tunnel networks here. This one I haven't really explored beyond these stairs. There's stuff down there. We'll find out in another episode. But heading over here, we have our prototype lift stroke transportation system, as it only goes in one direction really, unless you swim against the water. But if we enter it here, let me see, we float gently down to the next level. Ta-da! And obviously we have some stairs leading up here. Just above us here, that was the level we were previously on when we entered the lift. And this leads out now to another section. A nice little bridged walkway over the river. That'd make a nice stream and possibly a boat ride at some point. And some more tunnels I haven't really explored beyond that. But if we head back down again, so we have a large open chasm area here. You can see the mezzanine floor above that I built. And just heading down here, large open areas, possibly another cavern for a house, and more cave network down there. But if we head up here, we have our one and only grass section in the cave system at the minute. This is a mezzanine floor I've put in. All of this is completely suspended above the open cave ground. And this just forms a nice little garden and sort of ties everything together, because you can get to this from multiple areas and you can see it from multiple areas. So it almost creates this feeling that you're in a labyrinth of sorts, that you could play an awesome game of tag in here. And these stairs lead back to our original floating floor from the stairs. And that's about it at the minute. Obviously I will expand upon this, and like I say, it's very raw at the minute. All these areas will get very tarted up. we'll go through a process of beautification, and we'll bring in different woods, different textures, perhaps some cobblestone, and really fill this place out as a community. And there's our garden down below. So we've certainly got our work cut out down here. There's lots to explore. I've really only touched the tip of the iceberg. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and be sure to come back next time for some more world building.